What an opportunity to be here tonight to honor Bill Gove. I thought with an opportunity, an honor like this, if ever I were going to be eloquent, structured, well planned, this should be it. So I'll have it verbatim, and I'll pull something out of my pocket, and for Bill, I'm just going to have to read something. And I thought, nah, if it's anything Bill hated, it was anybody who couldn't ad-lib a burp at a Hungarian picnic. If you think I'm being out of order, that was a great Bill Gove line. I did love Bill like a father. In fact, he had been in my mom and dad's home, and my mother passed away, and he called me and said wonderful and gracious and loving things. And about 4 years later, my dad passed away, and he called me, and he said, well, Don, Hut and Sarah are both gone now. He said, I'm sorry you lost your dad. And I said, well, thank you, Bill. You're so kind to call. And we chatted for a while. And I said, you know, Bill, if you don't mind, I think I'll just start calling you Pop. Is that okay? And he just laughed. He said, sure, kid, call me Pop. And you can never replace a parent. But we can never replace Bill Gove either. Whether a mentor, whether a speaker, whether a friend, Bill Gove was incomparable. I used to love to call Bill, and Tunney did the same thing, and others of you in this room, I'm sure. In recent years, I'd call him. I wouldn't even say, Bill, this is Don. He'd answer the phone, hello. I'd just start telling a joke. Two guys sitting in a bar. Anyway, he would immediately start laughing because he knew a joke was coming. What a great audience. If anything, he might have been as good an audience as he was a speaker. But I got to tell you one of Bill's favorite stories. I don't know if you ever heard it. He didn't use it on the platform, but he used to love to talk about how funny other people were. And one of his favorites, he used to love to tell about his experiences with Bob Bale. He said that one time he and Bob Bale were in Corpus Christi speaking at a sales convention, and they were having breakfast in the coffee shop. And the waiter's name, had his name tag, the waiter's name was Jesus. And this is Bill telling me this story about how funny Bob Bale was. And he kind of interrupts himself laughing in the middle of the story. He says, I'm having breakfast with Bale, and the waiter comes by, and his name's Jesus. And Bale says, have you got any pumpernickel bread? And Jesus says, no, sir, we don't have any pumpernickel bread. And Bale said, Jesus, you mean you're telling me you fed the multitudes with one loaf and you can't come up with a slice of pumpernickel bread for me? One of Bill's favorite stories. But to talk about how serious he could get as a coach, I remember one time, Zig, I did have the opportunity to play golf with Bill on some occasions. And one time I was in South Florida, and he said, we're going to play with John. Well, John was his grandson, and Bill was his golf coach, and John was a great golfer. Went to Florida State on a golf scholarship. And anyway, we're out there playing golf, and Bill said, now, John's already on the course. We're going to catch up with him. He's already on about number 4. So we get in the cart and we go catch up with him. So he introduced me to John, and we had a nice little visit there very briefly. And Bill looked at John. He said, how's your game? John looked back at him and said, no words, just. He said, great answer. I said, Bill, what's going on? He said, I told John if he wanted to be a good golfer, he couldn't be emotional about it. He said, I told him I never want to come out on the course and find him absolutely effervescent because the game's so good, or down on himself because his game that day was so bad. As warm and emotional as Bill was, what a great coach. I loved Bill, and I love him today, and I know he's at the 19th hole right now looking down on this gathering and having a nice time. And Bill, as a mentor, as a speaker, as a pseudo-dad, and one of my best friends, I say, we still love you and we honor you. Thank you.